Welcome to View from the Grandstand. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Justin Pora. The month of February has never been known as an exciting time when looking at the sports calendar. The NBA and NHL dwindling towards their midway point, pitchers and catchers slowly report to MLB spring training. It acts as a stepping stone for college basketball to get to March. Sure, the big game is always played the first Sunday of February, but it stands as the last football game until late August. But while the in-game action isn't as intense this month, it gives us all more time to reflect on what February is all about. Black History Month is critical to be noticed across the United States, but it has a special meaning in American sports. Maybe this year more than any other before. This Sunday's Super Bowl will feature the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are the first team ever to go to the big game with 4 black head coordinators. As for the Chiefs, they're led by Patrick Mahomes, the future of the NFL, and one of 12 black quarterbacks to start a game this season. There was also a barrier-breaking moment in the regular season when an all-black officiating crew ran the show on Monday Night Football back in Week 11 for the first time in NFL history. The National Basketball Association made the full jump last season to being the standalone most progressive sports league in the world. While they moved to the bubble, players were given the opportunity to display words of social justice on their jerseys where their nameplates usually are. Some of the words represented were justice, education reform, say her name, equality. This was only a small part of how the league fought for social justice. When Jacob Blake was tragically shot and killed in Wisconsin back in August, the Milwaukee Bucks were set to play the Orlando Magic in the first round of the playoffs. Bucks players chose not to play out of protest, resulting in the league postponing all 3 playoff games scheduled for that day. After that moment, there were discussions within the league if the season would even continue. Back in 2017, NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick polarized the nation when he chose to sit for the national anthem. It was a stem of massive controversy across the sports world and in the end, cost him his job in the league. But after the pandemic stoppage, kneeling for the anthem is hardly talked about now because of how frequently it is being done. In the NBA bubble, it was actually more of a story that Miami Heat forward Myers Leonard and Magic center Jonathan Isaac chose to stand for the anthem rather than kneel beside their teammates and coaches. Despite all the progress sports have made in 2020, there is still a ton of work to be done. The NBA, a league where over 80% of its players are black, have less than 10 black head coaches. The NFL, with 70% black players, started the season with only 3 black head coaches, one of which was fired after the regular season. And if you combine the number of black players in Major League Baseball and the National Hockey League, you barely get over 100 in a pool of over 1,500 players. All in all, this Black History Month is one to be celebrated enormously by the sports world. The days of, quote, shut up and dribble are deep in the past. Is the work of making professional sports in the U.S. an equal opportunity space finished? No, not by a long shot. But year after year, we get closer to where we want to be, where we should be, and where we need to be. Thank you for listening. Talk to you next week.